Home got damn by a chick named Katrina. I need a chick by my side like a Nina. On the diving board, diving in Aquafina. At night she hollering, no, it's like Tina. Sometimes I be dreaming about Gina.
All right, everybody, what's going on? It's Hot Thoughts with Tay. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. This video was collaborated with the main page, TaeTokes, so go over there and get at it. Subscribe if you haven't already as well. If you guys have clicked the video, y'all clicked it because y'all want to know, is there a such thing as too much weed, right? And I'm here to tell you, there is, right? But it's subtle. It's so subtle because it's levels to the consumption. It's really like any other addiction, food, coffee, drug, sugar, you know? It's so subtle. So you'll start off like, you know, we're kids, right? We don't have our own money, right? So that means we can't just abundantly go buy marijuana. You know, we might have a friend that, you know, he might have got an ounce one weekend and we just was able to just go crazy. But for the main part, we couldn't just buy weed like Wiz Khalifa, right? We couldn't just smoke out of pounds, right? So then, you know, you start to fast forward to the working stage, right? And then it's like, you know, you're buying apes every week, maybe twice a week now, right? 3 times a week. You know, after work, you start smoking 2 to 3 L's after work because you're at work. See, before when you were just a kid and you would come after school, you might smoke 1 or 2 after school, man. It'd be groovy until you gotta go to sleep and then wake up the next morning. You know what I mean? But once you start working, that shit just kind of like all goes away. Like you want to kind of really start relieving stress. It's not so much about the enjoyment. It's more about you relieving that stress at the end of that work day, right? So then, like I said, you had about, I said max 3/8 a week. So we just gonna round it up to a half a week, right? And that's like late teens, early 20s. Just getting into work. And then, you know, don't let you have a good job. Don't let you get lucky. Don't let you have an abundance of money. And then it's a wrap. Don't let you do what I'm doing. And it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You can find yourself, man. Sometimes I find myself, I come home after work, I smoke one. Of late, I've been doing real good. But normally, I smoke one, hop on a game, I'm rolling up another one. You know, shit not going well in the game, put that enjoyment back in my system, I'm rolling another. That's 3 at the end of the day of the workday. Don't let me be off. Don't let me be off of work. You understand what I'm saying? So, and what it starts to do is, it starts to, this is where the trap is. This is where the trap is, where it becomes like super routine to where the point stuff that you got to get done, you know, other than work, obviously. And it's called functional addiction. It's called functional addiction. So, you know, until it gets to the point where obviously like certain shit you got to get done, phone calls, you know, going to pick up something from your mother's, going to the store, it kind of gets the back end, you know what I'm saying? Because one, you're so tired from working, right? And then you're smoking, and then it's like, oh shit, you know, you just kind of get in this loop, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people might come on this video and be like, oh man, you're just not disciplined, or whoever is going through this is just not disciplined. But man, it's thousands of people, of users that's going through that, you know, that's just consuming a little too much. And because of that subtle gesture of going from working and then not working is such a thin line, you don't even realize like, yo, I'm using way too much and not doing enough, right? Because when you were young, you were in school, like, man, you're going outside, playing ball, side missions, you know what I'm saying? And you get high in between that. But, you know, overall, you're moving around, you're functional, man, you know, and as you become an adult, that shit just goes away. You go to work, you come home, you might chill with your kids, you might play the game, you know, you might do some work on your side gig, you know, who knows? But at the end of the day, your ass is in the house, most likely stationary. You know, shout out to the people who go to the gym after work. Shout out to y'all the true troopers. You know, I've tried it multiple times. It's hard, it's rough to get in there, because the hard part isn't the gym, it's getting in there, but it's hard. So shout out to y'all. But for the most part, you just fall in the routine of going to work, you know, and doing nothing, essentially. You know, obviously gonna be some people that's gonna want to make themselves feel better and be like, oh man, I'm doing this after work, man. You tripping, man. I'm just spending time with my kids. Yeah, you are, but you're not physically doing anything. Like, there's nothing shaking and baking. You feel what I'm saying? And when you was young, you was just, man, you sweat that goddamn L out by, you know, you would sweat all that shit out by the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Moving all around you. So you ready to, you know, and that next joint is gonna hit crazy because you done sweated everything out. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So, to answer the question and to answer my thought, is there such thing as too much weed? I think there is. And I think in this culture, we end the day, you know, how bad the market is, it's meaning like how cheap the shit is right now. It's crazy, man. People are, you know, they chiefing up like at an all-time high level. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know younger kids, you know, who 17, 16, they smoking out of pounds right now. I would only dream of when I was 16 smoking out of a pound. You understand? I was smoking out of Reginald quarters. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely getting rough. Moderation, guys. You just gotta work on your moderation. Like, you know, tell yourself I'm not gonna smoke until after I get out of work. Tell yourself I'm gonna smoke, you know, after I get this task done. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, I'm only gonna smoke one before I get this task done. Like, if you're that bad like me, because, you know, I'll do some shit like that. Like, I got to smoke before this shit. But definitely start, you know, limiting yourself as far as, you know, routine and structure. Sometimes you guys take a step back off this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, some people will convince themselves that they super duper productive, you know, and I'm telling you, I don't know how. If you smoke a lot, maybe if, you know, you just for the camera, you really don't smoke like that, that's fine. But if you really smoking 10 L's, 6, 7, 8 dabs a day, you know, ain't too much work. I don't think, in my opinion, ain't too much work you're getting done besides taking your ass to work so you can pay them bills. So, you know, there is too much, man. You gotta have a balance. It's a good plant, man. It's a great plant. It has great medicinal purposes, but it definitely is come to a point where you're doing too much. And that's my thought, man. This is Hot Thoughts episode 2. I'm not gonna name the episodes on the title, but you guys get the gist if you're fucking following. Just a thought of mine, sharing that with y'all. And I'll holler at y'all in the next one. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me get the fuck out of here so I can go on and do what I just went against, and that's overdo it. All right, but we got to do some reviews. So go on the main page. New reviews are out. They're gonna keep on coming out. I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Peace out.
I love her mother.